Forgotten Dragon Studios presents The Lost City of Time.
Hi there. You're the old lady everyone mentions.
Theo asked, his curiosity overcoming his caution.
Go away.
She snapped back, but as he began to retreat, a wave of remorse washed over her.
Forgive me. Company is a rarity here. Have a seat, young man.
She sighed.
You're not from around here, are you?
She asked. Theo's response was tinged with confusion.
I've started to forget how long I've been here.
Yes,
She murmured.
that's how it begins in Aeonburg. The founders of this city sought refuge from a world drowning in sorrow. Their relentless pursuit led to the creation of the Grand Clock, a marvel designed to suspend us in a state of perpetual joy, an oasis of eternal contentment. I remember the elation, the celebration, but now it's as if those emotions were borrowed from a dream.
But isn't everyone here living joyfully?
Theo pressed, trying to reconcile the vibrant city life with her somber revelations.
Do they truly live, or do they merely exist?
She countered, her voice tinged with melancholy.
They parade their happiness without ever tasting the sting of sorrow, not realizing that it is the darkness that makes the light so precious. Real joy is a flower that blooms from the soil of adversity.
Their exchange stretched into hours, filled with stories of Aeonburg's origins, its architectural wonders, and the silent acceptance of an inescapable fate.
The city's design
She explained.
is not just in its streets or its grand clock, but in the very idea that one cannot simply walk away from utopia. Our forefathers built not just walls of stone, but barriers of belief, convincing us that beyond these borders, nothing but despair awaits. The true escape requires a liberation of the mind as much as of the body.
Returning to the boarding house, Theo was met with an unexpected surprise. His room, usually cluttered with the chaos of his thoughts and philosophical musings scribbled on pieces of paper, was now eerily tidy. Mrs. Lacey, with a dismissive wave of her hand, informed him that she had disposed of his dusty old thoughts to clear some space.
All those papers look so gloomy, Theo. You'll thank me later. Here, have some stew. It'll cheer you up.
She offered, oblivious to the turmoil she'd caused. Swallowing his shock with a polite nod, Theo wrestled with the silent grief for his months of contemplation, now tossed to the wind. Theo roamed the streets, his eyes now clear and bright, the old lady's wisdom unveiling slowly into the night. He could see the smiles plastered on faces, a truly deceptive art that hid the absence of happiness in each of their hearts.
What's left behind in the world I didn't see?
He mused aloud, while empty stares slid by and multiply.
Was this the peace, the solace I did seek, or just a mirage where there's no place to hide?
There, amidst the uniform beauty of Aeonburg, Theo stumbled upon an anomaly, an old building that time had seemingly forgotten. Circling the ancient structure, Theo stumbled upon a back door slightly open, as if inviting him inside. Drawn by intrigue, he entered, finding himself in a sprawling space blanketed in dust, surrounded by forsaken relics. Near a window, he sat down, looking out at the sky, embracing a moment of solitude and peace in the midst of forgotten history. The silence was abruptly filled with the feeling of another's presence. Turning sharply, his eyes met an old, dusty mirror to his side. The reflection he encountered was perplexing. It showed him, yet not as he was. The man in the mirror revealed a version of himself burdened with the passage of years, casting him into a sea of confusion. In the dusty quiet of the old building, the mirror and its strange reflection sparked in Theo an unprecedented idea. Could this anomaly be his doorway back to the world he remembered? The notion seemed as wild as the city's curse itself, yet he couldn't shake the feeling that the mirror was more than a mere object. It was a portal waiting to be unlocked. The next day, Theo shared his thoughts with the old lady. Her eyes sparked, and she suddenly remembered an ancient verse that said,
When the sun dips low and day becomes night, set the mirror where darkness kisses light. In that twilight space, the boundary thins, and a door to the outer quietly begins.
As the eternal sunset painted the horizon with hues of gold and amber, Theo stood at the very edge of Aeonburg. The mirror clutched in his hands, aligned with the perpetual sunset. For a breathless moment, Theo's heart sank. The mirror remained just a mirror, reflecting the endless twilight without a hint of magic. Doubt crept into his mind, whispering fears of failure. Was the old lady's tale just a myth, a fanciful story to give false hope? Yet, as he stood there, caught between hope and despair, its surface began to stir and undulate, a doorway to the unknown shimmering into existence. So long, and thanks for all the fish, Theo mused, his voice steady with resolve. He took a step forward, his figure blurring as he ventured into its liquid silver surface.